Well, hello everyone. We are very excited to share with you a new product line that we have worked on. It's been probably now pushing close to 2 years of just developing this product, and we've actually used it on site in several projects that we've done. And what it is a foam log cabin, foam barnwood type, all these weathered woods that we made molds to and cast so that we could turn around and provide you, the client, a alternative to using the real thing. Now, there's a reason for all of that, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in just a minute here. This hand-hewn beam, this is what we call our natural finish, meaning basically just a pine wood finish that has no, sealer stains or anything on it. It's just pine. And that is a hand-hewn timber that we cast just the front couple inches of it, and it goes on the wall and acts like a siding. If you look at the picture behind me, here's the installation of the product. This is a bar we built in British Columbia, and those are the boards that we put on, or siding pieces, or logs as they are probably more appropriately called. And you can see the beautiful weathered colors that are in there. We did a real chinking joint between each layer of wood or foam, actually. And the big question that's being asked is, why would we do this? Why would we make this out of foam when you can buy it in real? Well, number one, a beam like that, or wood of that nature, is very, very heavy. We actually made that out of a beam that came out of a barn, and it was hand hewn. Two people could barely lift the beam. That's how heavy it was. Now, if you're going to clad your wall or do ceiling beams with material that heavy, at times you either have to engineer the wall for more weight, or if you're doing it on a ceiling application, you have to consider the amount of weight that that's going to put on the ceiling. As you can see in this photograph here, these beams here on top were actually these same logs put together in a three-sided fashion, and then forming a whole beam that we would go and put up there. Now, those beams probably weighed, oh gosh, they're short. They're up to 8 feet in the middle, but I would guess at the largest point, they weighed no more than 20 pounds. So I could go up there all by myself. I could hold the beam up in one hand and position it where I wanted it, and then turn around and fasten it to the ceiling. The material is very, very easy to work with. It carves easy. It accepts fasteners like screws. You can screw the material to itself. The screw will tighten up and countersink into the material and provide a really good fasten joint. The other big, big reason we did this was this. It is very difficult to find reclaimed wood in the amounts of volume that you need to do large projects. So if you're going to do, say, a barnwood wall, a big giant wall, or do something that's more like a store where you wanted a lot of barnwood, or something that just cladding a lot of surface with barnwood, the problem you run into is you find that each barn has a different thickness of wood, different width of wood, different length of wood, and different weathering patterns, different types of wood. And so you start getting this really mixed up bunch of boards that become difficult at times to make them look somewhat harmonious. I've done some actual real barnwood clads, and the barn was painted green and then weathered out, or the barn was painted red and weathered out. So mostly the paint is gone, but little remnants left. But now I've got green and I've got red coloring on the wood. So we had to take, things like that, and clad one room with the green tones and the other room had the red tones. We didn't want to mix them up. It wouldn't have looked that well. So the consistency factor is what we were after. Can we have something that if I were to do, say, 200,000 feet of this type of siding on a wall, it would all look uniform. It would look like it came from the same source, the same person was making the wood beams and so forth. So that was one of our biggest reasons that we decided to make this product, was for consistency factor. The second is how lightweight it is. It really, really makes a difference. The other factors that I really like about it is it's flexible. So if I was to do any kind of radius work, I could take these things and bend them, and they would go around soft radiuses without a problem at all. They bend very, very easily. You can see this is obviously a thinner piece. This is a barnwood board or a weathered board, but you can see how flexible this material really is. So you can, if you're doing radius work, things like that, it can even be heated with a heat gun and provide even more movement. Of course, it gets a point where you'll crack it or actually break it, but it does have a large amount of flexibility. Incredible product. You can see the results in the picture. We actually made the chairs. Those are also made out of foam and wood and resin, and to match the rest of the decorum. All the wood elements on the wall and ceiling of the bulkhead that protrudes out the face, cladding, other than the metal that was authentic metal there, but everything else is all foam boards and things like that. Now, we've made this, these are samples of our, what we call the siding, and it can be stacked and just put as a tight joint. It can also be spaced and put a chink joint in there. It can be colored basically whatever we want to. These two planks here are basically the same same design, same material, but colored in two different fashions. So we can color and stain it whatever color a person would want to make it look and match whatever decorum you're trying to apply it in. We have here a sample of just this is just a cut-off piece of, again, our barnwood. It's relatively thick. We have over here a portion of a beam that we cast. So we have these big, thick, solid beams. I'll lift this up so you can really see it. But we have this big, I'm guessing that's probably about 6 by 10. We did take some material off the back. They can be cut on a saw, a standard saw. They can be adjusted if you have fine, minute adjustments you want to make on a miter or a joint. You can actually take a sharp knife and just carve a little bit of it away. It carves a lot like soap, so it comes apart really easy, so you can make those fine adjustments. We have it in various dimensions. Here's a sample of just a little trim piece that, you know, if we wanted to put it around a joint or something just to finish it off to it meeting another surface or whatever, we can do that. And we have all sorts of boards and board lengths that we sell it in, and it's just a great material to be able to use without any other preparatory backgrounds. I mean, you can go right over your sheetrock walls with it. You can tear off your existing trim, your baseboard, your casing, and use this material and put it in there. You can virtually turn a conventional type of built home, meaning drywall and so forth on the walls and ceilings, and you can convert the whole thing into a log house inside where you would think, you know, you're actually living in a log cabin. And you can do that for a very, very modest price compared to going out and buying half logs that are cut out of wood, or, you know, actually building a log home, so forth and so on. A lot of different things, but it's a great, great product for that. Guys, if you're building a little man cave downstairs in your basement or in the rec room, great product. You can put it on the walls, put it on the ceiling, put beams in. We have rock that goes, it's not here, but we have also foam rocks that you can chink around them. They look just like real fieldstone. They can be put on you just go right up to the drywall and just shoot them in there with some glue and then go ahead and chink it. Boom, you're done. No, hardly any extra weight. You could go to a drywall ceiling and do an entire ceiling in fieldstone if you wanted to. You can go there and put the beams up. You can do almost anything you want. You're not going to stress your trusses out. You're not going to overload the design. So you have all these lightweight options, and that's one of the big what I call the selling point of the product is it's just so lightweight. So much of it can be handled and applied by one person. You don't have to have a team of people putting it up. The other thing, we have the ability to put a fire retardant finish on it. So there is no such thing as fire retardant foam. Anybody tells you that's crazy, it's like saying we made non-explosive airplane fuel. This is a polyurethane or a product made from oil, so it has a nature to burn, but we can do things to it to cause the ignition of it to be very, very minimal, so that you just don't, boom, catch fire instantly. Other than that, it kind of covers a lot of what this product is, why we designed it. We have many other dimensions and things that are not pictured here, but this gives us a pretty good overview of the product and its application and so forth. So we look forward to being able to sell you some, or even we have the ability, if you would like, for us to even install it in your home or place of business, wherever you desire it to be.